are joined now by our insider, Alan Stiles, for the Bay Area Baseball Bit. Alan, thank you so much for being with us, and great to virtually meet you.
Good to meet you too, Kylen. Good to be here. It's always good talking baseball on a Sunday, especially, with all the football going on. A nice break from the football action. So great to be here.
Yeah, we got to talk about some baseball. Of course, we have our Giants really coming down to the wire in the National League. Now, this past week, they struggled a little bit in their series against the Padres, and they play them so many more times before the season ends. What do they need to do differently, do you think, to take care of the Padres in these next couple of games this week?
Yeah, well, number one, they have to execute. The bottom line is you have to enter playoff mode now, because that's where this is, because we know what the Dodgers have been doing. I didn't really have a problem with the Giants celebrating after clinching the playoff spot because of how everything happened. Nobody thought this team would be doing what they're doing, especially the way that they're doing it. But the fact of the matter is, they haven't done anything yet. And if you slip too far, you could find yourself in that one-game playoff. And when it comes to the Padres, they're hungry in a different way because they want that second wild card spot. So they're not going to give anything up very easily. Last night, Machado and Tatis got into it, so maybe the pressure is starting to get to them. We can only hope, but they just have to execute. And when they get these leads, they cannot give them up. Even with McGee out, you have to close out the games where you've had control for majority of it, because it's just extremely tough on a team to get all the way to the ninth inning and you give up that lead. And hopefully you can get to extra innings and pull it out, but you want to win because you've been winning the whole time anyway. So they just have to do exactly what they've been doing and treat this like the playoffs have started now, because in a lot of ways it really has.
Yeah, that game on Friday, you're talking about going to extras. I think that had all of us on the edge of our seats. I mean, that was wild.
Yeah, it was nuts, and luckily they pulled it off. Kevin Gausman with the sac fly, but that's not necessarily a recipe for success.
Right. Oh, for sure. And I want to switch gears. I do want to get in a quick question about the A's. Their season is not over yet. They've won 5 in a row. But my big concern I want to know your thoughts on is, how big of a liability do you think the bullpen is? If they were to make a playoff, would they even be able to win a series?
So the bad news is exactly what you just said. The bullpen is not very good, and that's me being very nice about it. It's one of the worst in baseball, especially when you have these teams that can hit the ball all around the field like the Yankees. They got all these big bashers. The A's don't have that. So when you have a lead and you're going into these later innings and you lose the lead, it's extremely deflating, and then you have to try to pick it back up and take the lead again. So nobody wants to have to do that over and over again. I do think that, different to the NL, where you have these juggernauts like the Giants and the Dodgers and the Braves, the American League is more wide open. So if they can sneak into the playoffs, I do give the A's a shot to win a series. But the operative word of that sentence is if.
Yeah, that's still a big if right now. I think they're 2 games back after winning today from that final wild card spot. Do you think they legitimately could sneak in?
I think they could. As we know, this A's roller coaster, it goes up and down and all around. But when they get hot, there's really nothing like it in baseball. And it seems like they've been getting hot at the right time. So if they can continue to win more games than they're losing, which is what happens when you're on a winning streak, I think they definitely can. And especially going into the playoffs with momentum, that could really bode well for them, getting into a series and feeling confident like they can close something out and really get something going and surprise some people.
Yeah, just got to keep riding the wave, right, as they say?
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, Alan, thank you so much. Such a pleasure to talk with you. And thank you so much for all of your insight.
Of course. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All righty. We'll be right back here on Sports Night Live.